Hey everybody, it's Carmine, and I'm here with an absolute favorite of mine from the Genesis, Shadowrun. I played this when I was about 14, and it has stuck with me ever since. It's based off of the Shadowrun tabletop game, if you're not familiar, from FASA and now WizKids, I want to say. Or Catalyst Games, my mistake. So, let's go ahead and get in there. Very sparse menus here. New game, load game. I'm just going to go ahead with start a new character. You immediately choose a character archetype. For those unfamiliar, the Street Samurai is your basic fighter, if you're familiar with D&D, or sort of a ranger, if you will. Deckers are pretty much hackers and do all the Hollywood hacking style of crap. If it seems impossible, it probably is. But let's see, Gator Shaman. In the world of Shadowrun, about 1% of the populace has magical potential. Shamans commune with nature a lot like a druid would, and summon things a lot like a druid would. For the purposes of our playthrough, I will be playing a street samurai. This is the one I'm best with. Get ready for some story. The time, January 31st, 2058. The place, Seattle, United Canadian American States. Under the cover of darkness, a team of Shadowrunners moves through the Salish wilderness. Without warning, they are ambushed by unknown forces. That one guy may look like he's just really ill-favored. He's an orc. The massacre is over quickly, but captured on the Trivid by one of the slain members' cyber eyes. The Trivid was recovered and made national news. Michael, your brother, was the last to die. So that tells us why we're here. Spending your last new yen to go to Seattle, you vow to avenge your brother's death. The new yen is the unit of currency in Shadowrun. It was believed that landing at SeaTac Airport, you flag a cab bringing to Michael's last known cred stick transaction, Stoker's Coffin Motel, located in the Redmond Barrens. The cred stick is basically a credit card, or a debit card in this case. The battered sign reads Stoker's Coffin Motel. Motels like these are cheap, each room only large enough to fit a small bed. Dumps like these tend to attract the dregs of humanity. The manager yawns. I won't bore you with the welcome speech, so what do you want? I'm here to pick up Michael's stuff, that's what I want. Oh, so you're Michael's bro, huh? Your bro kept on paying his bill, and I'm holding his stuff until I get the back rent. Let's make a deal. You pay up the 250 new yen he owes, and I'll fork over his stash. 250? How much can he have stored in one of those rooms? Hey, if you need money, head up the street to the jump house. Gunderson's always looking for runners. You'll find him in a booth towards the back of the bar. Okay, well, we could do that right away. Now, I'll get into the attributes and skills in a minute, because that's going to be a bunch of gibberish to anyone who's never played Shadowrun, but so far we have a small pistol, an armored vest, scatter grenades, and a medkit. We also have 10 clips of ammunition, and I know someone's going to get all over me about magazines, clips, etc. when they get home. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go sell some shit, because the grenades, worthless. A large man with the Ares logo on his huge coveralls grins at you over the counter. You'll love this place, sir. None of that wimpy stuff here. No way. Just point out what you want. Ares Macro Technology. One of the largest producers of firearms in the Shadowrun world, and also they produce automobiles and have their own private security force. Ares is what we call a megacorp, because they have become so large that they have become their own state. They are not considered, United States soil. It's as if you were on an embassy to another country. We're going to sell some of our stuff. The Ares, here we're going to sell this scatter grenade. You may notice it says damage and power. Damage determines how easily it harms enemies, whereas power is how well it punches through armor and defense, or just really thick hides. So we're going to sell these grenades because they're worthless. And we're going to sell the medkit because if I get jumped, I'm probably going to get my ass beat anyway. So let's see if we can get through this without getting killed. Leaves us with the gun and the armor. So the jump house he mentioned was just up the street. Here we are. The jump house is a typical small bar inside the Barrens. The standard slime frequent, and an occasional Shadowrunner sometimes slips in its entrance. You see a fat man licking his fingers in the far corner booth. That will be Gunderson. I have a small beef with how the game throws around the term the term Mr. Johnson, as you can see here. Oh, we'll get to that later. Boy, friend, don't be so obvious. Old Stoker likes to toss my name around, but if you want to stay healthy in the shadows, you do well to just refer to me as Mr. Johnson. This seems vaguely pornographic, but let's go ahead. We'll run with that. Looking for some info. Info, eh? Well, chummer, I might be able to help you there. Since you're pretty green, I'll offer some free advice. Most Johnsons don't mind telling you basic information, so there ain't a charge for that. But if you want some special contacts, a type who can help you out in as well, that costs. Usually somewhere up in the thousands of new yen. I need some questions answered. Hurry up and ask then. What exactly is a Mr. Johnson? Oh God, are we really asking this? Geez, you are green. A Johnson is your meal ticket if you're gonna be a Shadowrunner. You know, I wanted to have something funny and witty, but the game does it for me. Let's take me, for example. My name is Gunderson, but you should refer to me as Mr. Johnson out of respect for my anonymity. God, this is like low-grade porn here. I receive jobs from those who don't want to dirty their own hands. I contract out to those same jobs to runners like you. It's a food chain, and you're the little fish. Can we talk about something else here? Just tell me what you need, chum. I'll do what I can for you. I'm looking for some work. So you want to go on a Shadowrun, eh? Well, old Gunderson's got a beauty for you. Go to the Shiawase nuke plant and the Redmond Barrens. A contact there will give you a package. Take it to Boris's greenhouse in the Redmond Barrens. You will be paid upon safe delivery of the package. 40? That's exactly what I need. After negotiations, we come to an agreement. Yeah, I'll take it. Mr. Johnson, oh God damn it, logs the run on his pocket secretary and downloads the information to you. Thanks, my friend. You keep coming to me, and I'll keep you running. So, let me go ahead and address one beef I have. God damn it, I don't want to talk to you. One beef I have with this game, this guy in Shadowrun would be called a fixer, because he knows that he has the contacts to do the job. Mr. Johnson is someone who is a shadowy corporate employee who is usually not seen. The game throws the terms around lightly, because you would not typically contract directly from him because he wants to remain anonymous. You the runner? Here, catch. God throws the package at you and goes back to his job. This is supposed to be an atomic power plant, by the way, as evidenced by all the biohazard barrels. Now, Shiawase is another of the 10 big megacorps in the Shadowrun world, and this is Boris's greenhouse. He grins devilishly when he sees the package. Now I can do some serious fixin'. He pays and escorts you out of the greenhouse. Well, that got us the $14 we needed to get Michael's stuff out of Hawk. So let's go do the... Oh! No. Oh, God. Die. Combat in the early game is, much like D&D, very hit and miss. So, I don't know if I just picked up some... I picked up a little bit of money off of this guy, which is interesting, because people don't carry paper money. That was a gangster. He decided he wanted to relieve me of all this lovely money I've accrued. This particular group is known as the Halloweeners. They like pumpkins and fire. Back into Stoker's. I'm here to pick up Michael's stuff. Yeah. Here's the cash. Thought this cred and I'm gone. Creds roll off your stick, and in return you are handed a crumpled plastic box. Opening it, you find a scented letter, a cyberdeck. A cyberdeck is basically a portable supercomputer. It's used to access the Matrix, because we didn't really have this concept of the internet back in the 80s. A wristband and 2 holopics. The letter addressed to Michael reads as follows. I don't trust our Johnson, and neither should you. His story just doesn't wash, and you know it. I'm out on this one, and I hope you are too. I'll wait for you at the Tarislar City Inn in the Puyallup Barrens, Tabitha Shale. The cyberdeck is a small Allegiance Alpha that hasn't seen much use. These decks are fine to dabble in cyberspace, but lack real power. This would be the equivalent of one of those cheap $300, $400 laptops that are good to get you on the internet, but not good for much else. The wristband is a dockwagon homing beacon. When the wearer's condition becomes critical, a dockwagon trauma team is dispatched to retrieve him. The wearer is then resuscitated and dropped off at the Seattle General Hospital. Dock Wagon is the sort of ambulance first aid bunch in this setting. The only difference being that they roll in a trauma team, air quotes, which is, imagine if your ambulance rolled in with 3-4 people in military-grade body armor, packing an LMG, shotguns, and a flamethrower, for instance. That would be the equivalent of the trauma team. The fee is around 10% of the wearer's cred stick balance, guaranteed not to exceed 5,000 new yen. You slip it on your wrist and lock the clasp. And now my favorite Holopix. Dr. Ivana Haversheen, medical doctor, Seattle General Hospital, Haversheen Clinic. Mr. Caleb Brightmore, Esquire, problem solved, worries eliminated. This is another fixer. And finally, my favorite part. Finally, you uncover a crit stick hidden under the Holopix. It has a balance of 500 new yen. The irony of this discovery still has not worn off 12 years later. Yeah, so now we got $500 to our name. About 525, actually. That isn't much, but it's enough to buy something. It's actually just short of buying something, but we'll have enough if we want to sell something. Yep. The Ares Predator. This menacing gun is popular among mercenaries. Medium damage. The important thing, high power. We could get the Warhawk heavy pistol, but it holds 6 rounds. The max power does medium damage, high power, and only has 10. It trades firepower for ammo. What we want is this. However, we're a little short, so we're going to sell our cheap little 101T. And instead, buy this. This is basically the gun I will use for the majority of the game, by the way. We'll accessorize later. No, don't sell. Select a firearm. Select. So I can show some of the accessories. The smart gun system, which basically gives you a heads-up display, targeting, etc. It's basically a HUD laid over your eyes. It's really cool. Silencer, for obvious reasons. Sound suppressor is the SMG version of the silencer. If you fire a gun inside, say, corporate headquarters, the alarms will go off and security will round up a posse to come after your ass. Laser sight increases your chance to hit. This is basically the equivalent to a masterwork weapon in D&D. And gas vent 2 and 3. Shadowrun handles recoil. We'll leave it at that. Alright, so this is our new weapon. Equip. Load it up. Alright. Let's go back and get another job. Because we need some frickin' money. Time to go see Gunderson again. Jump house, yada yada yada. See if I can get a different type of run. I would like to show each of them before I don't tend to grind on screen because this takes a bit longer than, say, Final Fantasy, which my esteemed colleague Chay is playing. I highly suggest you check that one out. Let's see. Alright, Gunderson, let's, what else have you got for me? Go to this building in the Redmond Barrens. Go to Stoker's Coffin Motel. Sure, I'll take it. 40 new yen. So I have to walk out of this room, this building, walk back in, and take this package back to Gunderson. The bartender leans forward. You must be here for the package. Take it. I don't want to be responsible for it no more. Okay. Alright, let's go drop it off. Do you have the package, breeder, or have you lost it? He basically just called us a fucker right there. He grabs the package from you, checks it, and begrudgingly pays for your service. A lot of people in this game are douchebags, by the way. Get used to that. Back to the jump house. That was another delivery. Let's see if we can get an escort job, and not in the guild manner here. Go to Boris's greenhouse. Another package. Take it to the Halloweeners in the Redmond Barrens. Okay, $35. Alright, we're coming up on the end of the episode, so I'm going to cut it off right here, and we will go and deal with Boris's package in a bit. Later!